This is the Voice of the Land podcast with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Nick Paulus.
Welcome to the last Sunday without NFL football for quite a few amount of months, and welcome to another edition of the Voice of the Land here on the Big Play Network, brought to you by Vector Technical, the right person, the right job, the first time, and DP Construction LLC. Reach out to them for all your concrete construction needs. That number, 330-217-4999, 330-217-4999, and reach out to them also by email directly to our buddy Tyler LaFrada, tylerlafrada@gmail.com. Of course, along with the Big Play Network, we are partnered with LPV Productions. I am one of your hosts, Kevin Arnold. Alongside me, as always, my brother, Nick Paulus, and our producer extraordinaire behind that proverbial glass, Peter Tillip. We do have a big show tonight. We have a major announcement. That's right, a major announcement about the future of Voice of the Land coming up just a little bit later this evening, around 7:30, around the third segment portion of tonight. And like I said on Twitter, it is not anything to do with my big announcement that I made yesterday. I'm not going to get into it. You want to see what my big announcement was? Head on over, follow me at KevinIn7. That is KevanInsevan. It'll be posted underneath me throughout the show tonight, so you can go over there and check out my announcement from yesterday. Of course, follow us on Twitter, the show at VT_pod, or like us on Facebook at Voice of the Land, like the Big Play page, subscribe to their YouTube channel because you can always catch the show live or on replay there, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, Google, Spotify, Apple, and so many more. Follow LPV Productions across all social media sites, and my brother Nick Paulus at CLE_Paulus. That is at CLE_PAULUS on Twitter, and give him those follows. You're probably close to what, like 1,500 at this point?
Let me actually check. I have no idea, honestly. Let me pull that up here. If it will, maybe. I don't know.
I know our phones haven't been working.
The phones haven't been working. This hasn't been working. What else could go wrong tonight?
Don't say that.
We are hooked into so much technology right now. Don't say that.
True. We do have a special guest joining us a little bit later at 7:30. So we'll hold off on, saying anything like that. But for me, I don't even know. I have no idea how to run my Twitter account. I have no idea how to do anything with technology here.
It's a miracle Nick finds it to the studio every.
You are not joking. Let me tell you that. No, I'm at 1553.
So let's get those followers up closer to that 2,000.
There we
right?
go. Yeah. Let's shoot for that.
And as with the phones not working, we're going to use the one phone that does work to kind of help promote while we run this thing as well.
So first off, and maybe this will be a sponsorship, here for us. What are you? Carrier?
Verizon.
Okay, so I'm Verizon too.
Okay.
Verizon screwing me over, but it's good for you. So that's what matters right now.
Not always, but
but
I mean, pretty much,
man.
I know. I haven't been able to go to any other style carrier though. Like Verizon's been the best. You really want to know, like, you really want to have your phone not work. Like, if you want time away from your phone,
right,
go to my grandparents' house.
Is that the dead zone of all dead zones?
So like, we live on the dead zone side of Wycliffe.
Okay.
At our apartment. And even with their Wi-Fi there, they have two. My Aunt Chris, who lives there and takes care of Grandpa now.
Yeah.
They have like two Wi-Fis. They got AT&T and Spectrum. They have like two separate ones to run a couple different things to help him out. Like, even with the Wi-Fi,
still sucks.
Like, it's the deadest of the dead zone. Honestly, like, if someone calls me, I answer it, boom, done. Not gonna go through. Like, there's only maybe 2 spots in the entire house where your phone actually works. So if you want,
that is the worst too, by the way. Like, whenever you're and knowing that you have something happening, or like you want to check up on a score, it always happens at the worst possible time. You're okay, great. The Indians bottom of the 9th, Jose's up to bat, and you're like, yeah, and it's like, oh, no service. I'm like, what the hell? Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's honestly, you don't want to use your phone for a while, but you don't want to travel. Like, you don't have the need to travel far away. Just all I got to do is take 2-minute drive over to grandpa's house, just chill in the house a little bit, disconnect from everything, because it won't work anyways.
Right.
So, but if you do want to connect with people, you can connect with Big Play as an entire network coming up on September 19th. We want to make sure we promote this moving forward. Big Play as an entire network is going to have a live tailgate show at the Jack Casino in downtown Cleveland from 10 a.m. until kickoff. That is the home opener. So that's week 2, 10 a.m. on September 19th down at the Jack Casino, sponsored by Labatt. You guys are going to get the main guys, of course, Dave, Chris McNeil, Nick Padone from the Reflog Show. Padone will be there, of course, and he has his show, the Padone My Take. Some of the other guys will be there, maybe a representative from Voice of the Land with what I'm doing now and what you're already going to be doing, and we'll get into that a little bit more later.
Illegal Ham to the Face is going to be there.
Illegal Ham to the Face, yes.
Jared just hit us up and he said, hell yeah, Fatty will be there. So
yes.
There we go.
Dog's Table, of course.
Oh, of
Craig
course,
Fountain and Jared Bates, of course. So a whole list of characters will be out there. You guys can go have some Labatts, get ready
get primed up for it.
Yeah, and hopefully, Browns are coming off of a week 1 win, so they're 1-0. But no matter what, we know that there's still going to be a lot of hype about this team. The city's going to be on fire for that home opener against Houston. Go out and just jump in with a bunch of great dudes, great girls, and all the people that make up Big Play Network. Going to be a great event, so we want to make sure we promote that there. Speaking of Browns, that's where we need to start tonight. And Paulus, looking at this is the last week we have to, going into game week, this is the last time we really have to, last few days we have to go with the what ifs and what could be before we get what actually is, like actual film of what is, and can break that down.
Right.
I'm kind of over breaking down what could be, but I'm also happy that it's last week. So I'm more than willing to break down tonight what could be one final time, as now we have the 53-man roster. That's where I want to start, Paulus.
Okay.
I know that we didn't have a show last week, so we didn't, we're a little bit behind the times, so people have reacted.
Sure.
But is there a move, or is there a roster decision that still has you scratching your head, or that you're over the moon about still to this day, who made this 53-man roster out of all of the depth in that 90-man roster throughout preseason?
Yeah, and there was a lot of depth. I mean, we already have seen a couple of guys make other squads out there, and like Sheldrick Redwine, our 5th safety, honestly, who's a good player, ended up signing with the Jets, for the rest of the year. Cardale Hodge signed with the Lions. He's probably going to be their number 2 wide receiver.
Probably.
Like that's crazy. You go from 6th, on this squad to number 2 on another squad. Now, mind you, the Lions are going to suck this year. I feel awful for Hodge, by the way, because he went from a contending Super Bowl team to Detroit. Like, God bless you, man. Good luck there, Hodge. I mean, I'm sure Detroit has something good about it. I just don't know what it is. But
you're gonna be biting kneecaps off.
You're gonna be biting kneecaps, there wasn't really a move that surprised me extremely. Yeah, probably the Hodge move. I thought keeping Hodge would have been the better option. Had he went through waivers, I guarantee you they would have re-signed him. Issue is that he's a really solid, special teams player, and he's getting better as a wide receiver. And we saw that this preseason. He had over, 100 yards in the 3 preseason games and had 2 touchdowns. Like, he did pretty well for himself this preseason. So there isn't really one position or one person that I'm like, wow, like, I can't believe we made that cut, or I can't believe we signed that guy. They made all the right moves, and which is typical Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski. It's typical what they're doing right now. So,
yeah, and we know that fans were up in arms, and we're still all trying to get used to having a good team with a lot of depth. And you're going to see names that would probably be kept on this team in the past and would be fan favorites, city favorites. They would be endeared to the city on how they work and get themselves prepared. Hodge is kind of the pinnacle, the microcosm, you go into a Cleveland book of definitions of like who is us, or who could be
gets us, right?
Who gets us Hodge would be one of those guys that is unfortunately no longer here. And you knew he was going to be picked up on waivers. He can do a lot in the special teams unit and then can also make plays. So he had that versatility. But I mean, you're really splitting hairs if you're arguing any of that.
No doubt.
Is there a position, though, that still has question marks about it? No matter how you broke it down, whoever they kept, is there still that position group that's maybe gives you, let me take a pause. Let me actually look at this. This could be an Achilles heel or
not
the weak link. Is there anything like that?
You know, I'm looking at the roster as we speak, and only having the 4 defensive ends probably is a little suspect. That being said, you still have Porter Gustin on your practice squad. You still got a guy that can make some sort of plays, or at least can hold up his end of the bargain. And that's really what you need from the defensive perspective. I'm looking at the roster right now. Like I said, I mean, I'm a little concerned, about maybe that second or third safety spot, because Ronnie Harrison's still banged up. Grant Delpit is still banged up. So you're really going to be really focused in on, John Johnson. Like, John Johnson's the key to this whole thing. Like, I know Miles is the best player on defense. I think the most meaningful defensive player, most underrated defensive player, I should probably put it that way, is John Johnson. John Johnson III, he is the key for us making it to where we want to make it to, because I think that he's going to have the green dot on his helmet. He's going to be the guy calling out the defenses. He's not going to leave the field. So like, I truly do believe that it's going to be him as like that main guy. So like, if you lose him, and you got to count on Richard LeCounte, who I really like Richard LeCounte a lot, but he is a rookie. He wasn't facing a whole lot of first teamers in preseason. He made his mark against the backups, which is what you got to do in order to, sort of build your way up. But you can't count on a rookie to take over as that lead guy. So John Johnson, like, if we lose any sort of safeties out there, we might be in some trouble.
In the preseason, you can make your check by making a team. But it's the regular season where you make your name. And LeCounte can really make his name in this city if he performs to the level that we feel like he can. And this organization has the confidence that he can after all of their film breakdown, what they saw in practice, because a lot of these evaluations were probably done based on those joint practices and the tests that they put him through during training camp. You saw on Building the Browns that those great behind the scenes documentaries that Channel 5, WEWS, the ABC affiliate here in Cleveland, puts out every other week or sometimes every week, depending on how often they film them. You saw on there that before training camp started, Kevin Stefanski told this team, training camp's going to suck.
Yes.
But it's all going to suck together. I saw tweets. Cameron Justice from Channel 5 I was following her probably most of all, because she's great, like giving the play-by-play and talking about how Stefanski, when a unit on the field, whether special teams, defense, offense, or one particular position group had to do push-ups because they were being, given consequences or had some sort of running, Stefanski was part of a lot of that. Like, he was, because they all know that it's going to take every single person to every single player, coach, everybody's got to perform up to the level that they need to. On paper, champion is great, but it doesn't win you anything. I'll give you a piece of paper that says champion. I'll type it out. I'll try to make a fun font for you.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you get nothing. So guys like Richard LeCounte, they got their check. They're on the roster. Now go make your name for yourself to lead this team to where we expect them, or hopefully expect them to go. Now, we will step aside here for just one moment, but on the other side of the break, looking at some of these positions, now we get real football. Where does the real football take us? We will make some of our predictions for the Browns and the NFL on the other side of this break. And still to come, of course, our big announcement coming up at 7:30. A special guest will join us. More on that later. You are tuned in to the Voice of the Land here on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back to the Voice of Land and our Browns/NFL season preview show here on September 5th. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Labor Day weekend. And before the break, we were kind of looking at the 53-man roster because we didn't get a chance to react to that just yet as a show. But moving forward, now that 53-man roster is set, guys are going to have to perform. They're going to have to make their name and make due for their positions and what their coaches are asking them to do and perform up to the level that they are capable of. There's a reason why you were selected for this team. Now go perform to that level. Paulus, what are your genuine expectations for this team? Is it something and bust, like championship or conference championship game and bust, Super Bowl and bust? What are your real expectations for this team now that we are 1 week away from NFL football?
It's crazy to think that we're only 7 days away from this. Like, at this point, 7 days from now, we're going to be like, it's going to be the fourth quarter. I'm hoping of a very close game, and it is going to be meaningful football. Finally, it's been over 200 something days. Like, we've been waiting so damn long for this. That all being said, I'm great. I'm so thankful and happy that it is coming up, but I do look at this Browns season as a lot of people are saying it's Super Bowl or bust, or, AFC championship game or bust. I lean more towards that championship game or bust because I want to see this team get better than what it was last year. And not just, I don't care about record wise getting better. Like, they went 11-5 last year in the regular season. If they went 10-7, but made the playoffs and made it to the AFC championship game, I would take that as a better year.
And playing their best football at the end of the year.
And playing their best football at the end of the year. Absolutely. Kind of like the opposite of what the Steelers did last year. So I will take AFC championship game and say, no matter what happens at that point in time, I'd say that is a solid year. I think that is you could approach that as a winning year there for this team. And then at that moment in time, then the following year is Super Bowl or bust. Right now is our best chance, though. Of my lifetime, and we say this every year. I know we've been doing this show for 3 years now. So going on, and every year it's been getting better and better and better. And I think that this is the most talented roster that we have. This is the best coach, without a doubt. This coaching staff is all back. You don't see that for solid football teams. They don't get the coaching staff coming all back. We did this year. So everyone's in year 2 of the system. So everyone's even more comfortable. I expect Baker to have a really good year. I expect Nick Chubb to have another dominant year. Miles, all of those guys, you got to stay healthy. So let's all hope for that. But if they do stay healthy, the sky's the limit. It really is.
It is. I would say the same. AFC championship game or bust, because you do need to get better. Now, I've heard multiple media personalities talk about this. There is no, and I think the latest one I heard was Garrett Bush on G. Bush on the Fan on the FM dial. And he was talking about how there is no natural progression. You don't just make the playoffs 1 year, and then the next year you get to the next round. The next year you get to the next round, and the next year you win the whole thing. There is no natural progression. But to get to that point, then you see what you can do, because it's going to be tough. You get to a conference championship game, you get to the playoffs. That is a monster in itself. You get to a conference championship game, you're able to win the first 2 to 3 games or first 2 games of the playoffs, because I think they're doing 7 teams again for So they're doing it just like last year. So only one team's going to get a bye. So unless you get that number 1 seed, you're going to have to play 2 games to get to the conference championship, win 3 to get to the Super Bowl. So if you're lucky enough to get that number 1 seed, okay, you got to go win 1 game. More so, most of them are going to have to win 2 games. It gets even tougher when you get to a conference championship. There's a reason why the 2 teams from each conference get to that game. but you got to get there, and then let it go how it's going to go. Whatever gets you there, then stay true to that at that point.
Like, so I want to go a little bit more individualistic with this, because you and I, once again, we both agree that AFC Championship or bust. Not so much the Super Bowl, but you made it to the Super Bowl, that'd be awesome. Like we're not going to hold it against them.
And you said it. It's there in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It's the best chance that we have.
Yeah.
So yes, we would love that.
Of course. Yeah.
But we understand the nature of the beast that is the NFL and the top teams that they got to face in their own conference, let alone the entire league. I was
going to say the AFC is stacked. Like let's not forget that the AFC is filled with Pro Bowl quarterbacks and great defenses, and there's a lot going against
the AFC North. Is
I know. It is one of those things where I wish, just for 1 year, I would like to know how it would feel like if we played the NFC East. Like if we played in that conference, like just beat everyone's brakes off, winning 40-0 every time. Like that would be nice. But we never have that because we face the Ravens, we face the Steelers, and every once in a while the Bengals put out a productive product as well.
Yeah.
So, but let's get to the individualistic while we still got a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
What do you expect Baker to do this year? I mean, we saw good Baker, or we saw bad Baker at the beginning of the year, and then the final 8 games we saw really good Baker, like top 3 in the league Baker.
I expect him to start a little bit better than the Baker the first half of the season last year, and by the time the season ends, get to better than his best last season. And I think that what that looks like is, and we talked about how, he's the one of only 3 quarterbacks to throw for, the 3,500 yards and whatever in the first 3 seasons. I expect that plus some. I'm looking for him to get closer to the 4,000 yard mark, if not over that. Between 25 to 30 touchdowns, keeping the interceptions low, between 8 to 10, keeping that interception ratio like it was last year. Like that is
so you expect Pro Bowl Baker quarterback.
I expect.
I agree.
If I'm going to put a title on him, I'm going to put
Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Pro Bowl level Baker. That's who I'm expecting.
And that should be the expectation. And if he gets a Pro Bowl nod, and can we be honest here? A lot of quarterbacks get Pro Bowl nods, like Kirk Cousins has a couple, and it's because they're stat pilers, and that's what it is. But then you have some of the quarterbacks that win consistently and make the Pro Bowl as well. Look at like Alex Smith. Alex Smith made the Pro Bowl, I believe, 3 times with KC. He didn't do anything in San Francisco. Then he goes over there and he had some productive years, but it wasn't amazing. Aaron Rodgers,
wasn't number 1 pick. Amazing.
Right. But he won like 11 games for KC, got into the playoffs, earned a lot of respect, and then that's how he got into the Pro Bowl. I think that's the same sort of similar trajectory that Baker should be looking forward towards. Win 11, 12 games and have comparable stats as what you had last year. You're probably making the Pro Bowl at that point in time. And hopefully you never even have to play in the Pro Bowl, because the Pro Bowl is always that week before the Super Bowl. So hopefully you're doing that instead. But aside from that, is there any other Browns player, either offense or defense, that you're looking forward to stepping up big this year?
Wow. You got to look at the wide receiving core, and I'm looking for, and it may take a little bit of time early because we don't know. We haven't gotten any sort of word. We've just seen all of the videos of him working out. Odell Beckham Jr. He has comeback player of the year potential.
Ooh, I like that.
And there's been plenty of like CBS Sports and Yahoo Sports and like articles about that, whether it's comeback player, however they define it, because you can only use the NFL's specific terms so much. I mean, I think we've used like the big game name, real name, a little too much for
probably
what they allow us to do.
Yeah.
But he does have that comeback player of the year potential, as long as what the culture that was set, what we talked about going into even part of last year and into the off season. We wanted to see Odell Beckham Jr. back on this team as much as the trade rumors were circling around him, and probably will continue to do so. He's just that Kevin Love-esque player, but a lot more talent to give you than, or hopefully a lot more to give you than what Kevin Love can give you.
There's a lot more talent. There's a lot more to give than what Kevin Love has to offer. So,
but with Odell Beckham Jr., we wanted him on this team because we know how talented he can be and what he can add to what we already saw last year and how the offense was able to develop under Kevin Stefanski. But the culture was also set too. So Odell Beckham Jr. likes to say that, and with some evidence that the things said about him or this aura that he's some sort of problem child is not right. If he isn't, he will buy in and be a culture builder for this team. If he is that, he is a comeback player of the year for you. If not, that could be an issue that you need to kind of step away from moving forward. And
Sure.
I'm not saying that he's going to be. That's not the claim I'm making. I'm not here to make any sort of like hot take or anything. I'm just saying like Odell Beckham Jr. is the guy I'm looking for. It's easy to go to because he's a big name.
Sure.
But I'm hoping and praying that he can stay healthy and we can all see, the whole league can see the Odell Beckham Jr. that everybody has expected to see and wanted to see basically since his first year in New York and that spectacular catch he made, what was it, on Sunday Night Football?
Sunday Night Football, yeah.
So that's one guy that I'm really looking for throughout the year. How about you?
I like that pick a lot because I think that Odell has the capability of that. We all know he's talented. Yeah, like sorry, book's out. Guy has some talent. He to me has the most potential of making that extra step that we haven't seen as he was a Browns player. I think you're going to see Myles Garrett becoming the dominant force that he is. He already is, but I think that he took that. We were talking about that a top 100 NFL players thing.
Yeah.
He actually took umbrage with being selected. I believe it was 15th or 16th.
Yep.
Because he said, "Oh, there's 15 people ahead of me." Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He gave the big old eyes, like,
just like with Baker, whatever motivates you. Just
hey, you got a chip on the shoulder, use it.
You perform and you're not an issue in the culture.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I think this year, if you want to lay some money down, if you want to put some credits down on something, defensive player of the year. And like, I already know he's up there. So like, you're probably not going to get too many credits for it, but he is that extra dude. He is that next level. And he does have that.
Yep.
Yeah. If he didn't miss COVID if he didn't get hit with COVID and then basically be a shell of himself the last, 4 or 5 games of the year, he was on his way of already getting that defensive player of the year, trophy. So I think that this is the year that it finally happens for him. And it'll just be redemption for him for everything that he's gone through over the last 2 years. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, Jared Bates of our buddies over at Legal Ham to the Face, which
yes,
you're going to want to tune into their upcoming shows because big things.
Oh, huge stuff. Yeah.
Big thing planned for that show, but I won't even get even close to
just
divulging
nice
that.
Tease.
Nice little tease. So make sure you guys tune into our friends over at Legal Ham to the Face as well. But Jared says Austin Hooper
is
the guy.
You know what? I got a little bit of a hot take with that one.
Oh,
I like Austin Hooper. I know the guy's gotten paid. Njoku's going to have more yards than him. He's going to have a more productive year than Austin Hooper. I like Hooper a lot. I've defended Austin, because everyone says like, oh, you can't just hire you just can't bring in the second highest paid tight end at the point that we signed him for. He was the highest paid. I believe it was Kittle or Kelsey. It was it was one of those guys that got paid more than him, deservingly so. Obviously.
Yeah, one of like the only guys you picked in the first round in fantasy.
Exactly. I don't think Austin Hooper is going to have that great of a year, and I'm okay with that. Like, just do your job and block your ass off and catch a couple of balls, and don't drop any end zones. Don't drop any touchdowns. I'll be cool with you. I'll ride or die with you no matter what. But I do think that this is a make or break year for Njoku. It's a contract year. Like, people always ball out on contract years.
Do.
So, to let you know, Njoku, I do believe he is going to have more yards than him. And honestly, it's going to be pretty close between him and Harrison Bryant. I think that both of those guys are going to get a lot of underneath stuff. I think Harrison Bryant, I think he's going to pull some next level stuff too.
Yeah.
Stop with the dropsies, brother, or fumbles.
Yeah. Stop with the fumbles.
With that stuff.
I see that being a hot take. To me, it's not. And that's because we, pretty much on the same page with all of this kind of stuff, because we talk through this all the time and we understand where each other's coming from. It may be from different perspectives, but we end up similar points a lot of the time. I want Austin Hooper to have a better stat year, but you said it. Teams that have great guys with stats, yeah, you help people win their fantasy leagues. But if you want to win your ultimate prize, in the reason why you continue to play this game, that Vince Lombardi trophy, you need guys that, maybe they don't fill it up stat-wise, but they do every other little thing, including adding stats on top of it, and they help the team win however necessary. Even if it's not in a box score, they're doing the right thing. You need Austin Hooper to do the right thing and add more stats than he had last year to see an improved type player. So I would agree with Austin Hooper. Jared says he did have appendix surgery last year.
I saw that as well. And you know what? Like, if that's the reason why he didn't have that great of a year, like that's fine. Like I said, I'm ride or die with my guys.
Yeah.
As long as you don't drop any touchdowns or miss any blocks or anything like that, I'm cool with you. Like, I don't care if you're mediocre out there, as long as you're providing for the best, for our team as what they're asking you to do. We have a lot of 2 tight end sets, and you got to block your ass off, because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, like, they can make some guys miss, but the best thing about them is that they have that underrated breakaway speed.
Yep.
So, like, if you hold on to your block for that extra half a second longer and do your job to your best ability, Nick Chubb's gone for 40 yards.
Yes.
We see it all the time. He was averaging 10 yards a carry in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Just do your job.
Do your job.
Yeah.
Your run first offense. Make the blocks you need to, and then add the other stats when necessary to make those big plays. This is not a voice of the land, conversation about Austin Hooper saying like we're done with that. Unlike Kevin Love, where we are over the Kevin Love era in basketball and Cleveland Cavaliers. This is not anywhere close to that. We're just expecting more because we know we can get more, and it can take us to those next levels that we expect to see this team go to this year. That is going to wrap it up for that segment. We'll get into more of this with our next special guest, and maybe talk a little NFL awards too, who may be our big game winner. We will talk with our special guests on the other side of this break. And you want to know how to get that Voice of the Land gear? Yes, I know neither one of us are wearing it tonight. I just had the Star Wars feeling today because I saw that this new fan for the Browns is wearing like a Mandalorian.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The helmet.
Yeah. It looked really cool. So
it does look dope.
Just, I don't know. It's just a Star Wars mood. So I decided to wear some Star Wars gear today. But you want to know how to get some Voice of the Land gear and some accessories or mugs or anything? Well, this break will tell you how. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land. Kevin Arnold alongside Nick Paulus and Peter Tellep. And it is time for our major announcement. We've been teasing this for 2 weeks now, teased it all day on social media, teased it at the beginning. I didn't tell everybody what time we were going to do this at, just so they'd have to tune into the whole to most of the show to get to the major announcement. Now, this isn't one of those major announcements you may hear on other shows that then you feel kind of underwhelmed about. Like, for us, this is a major thing
it's huge. Yeah.
happening with the show. So before we introduce our special guest, we do want to let everybody know that, unfortunately, and we will shed a tear, maybe, we're both on the same team
Sad
now.
tears,
so like the Avril Lavigne.
Right. Yeah. We'll have to cue that up.
Temporarily for the
right.
next 3 to 4 months, your job responsibilities will keep you away from the Voice Land. Did you want to speak on that for a
Yeah,
second?
just real quick. Obviously, this is our baby,
Yes,
that
it
we've
is.
been doing here for the last, 3 years between you and I. Peter stepped in 2 years into it now, basically.
Yep.
It's been a great journey. It's been a great ride. This isn't the end,
No, it's
obviously.
not.
But this is it is hard, it is a little bit of a hard moment because Brown season's our baby. And that's the biggest thing. That's what we're all die hard for. So it is unfortunate that I'm going to be stepping away here for the next couple of months, because I'm going to be doing the post-game show for ESPN Cleveland. It's going to be with Emmett Golden and Aaron Goldhammer as well. So it just time-wise, it's going to be tough to be able to match that up and then coming into here because we got a lot of primetime games, folks.
A lot of different times.
A lot of time slots all over the place. I wouldn't be for example, the Kansas City game starts at 4:25. That game's going to end at about 7:30. We typically start at 7:30.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get out of there until probably 10:30.
We'd be starting at midnight.
Yeah. I don't think that you guys want those takes at midnight. So
nobody's going to be listening to that.
but we do have a special guest that is going to be filling in for me for pretty much the entire season. So, and he's on hold here for us.
He is. Before we get to
Yeah.
the special guest, I do just want to say this is a bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Appreciate that.
you know, and I want to thank you for everything you've done and will do moving forward. Cause again, this isn't the end.
No, by no means.
We worked our asses off to
Yeah.
get to a point to have Dave, and thankful to Dave to bring us into a bigger network like Big Play and have more people
Right.
be able to see us and see what we bring and people appreciating what we bring and what we're trying to bring to sports talk around with Voice of the Land. And of course, then we got the opportunity to basically be the Big Play Browns post-game show, which we are
Which is
doing this year
awesome.
as
Yeah.
well. Voice of the Land is doing that. Unfortunately, Paulus, you won't be part of that, but you will
Right.
be coming back once Brown season is done.
Yeah.
Until then, we will be having a special fill-in. You have seen him before. You see him on Twitter all the time. Always Positive Jay is going to be the new co-host for
Whoa,
Brown season
There we go.
What an
for
honor,
the
what
Voice
an
of the
honor,
Land.
man. Thank you guys, man. Thank
No.
you so much for this.
Thank you so
No,
much,
thank
Jay.
you.
Of course. How excited are you for this Brown season and what we're going to be able to bring people this year for Big Plays Browns post-game shows?
I can't even put it in words, to be honest. Like on a 1 to 10, I'm like a 1,437 maybe. But yeah,
Put in
I've
the
been
numbers,
looking
not
forward to
words,
this.
right?
I've been trying to hold it in. I've been wanting to tell everybody about it, but yeah, we had to tease it a little bit.
I know you've been close to kind of letting it
Oh,
go
yeah, no
on
doubt.
Twitter. I've been seeing the tweets. So,
Oh yeah,
things,
little teases.
yeah, little teases, but now it is out there. And of course, if everybody follows Always Positive Jay, you can follow him at Always Positive Jay. He will be filling in across the table from me. Peter will still be here. We will also have Jared Bates from time to time. Want to bring him in for Legal Ham to the Face because we're testing the Zoom element here. So we might bring in some other guests as well.
It's awesome.
So it's going to be a lot of content. I will let everybody know that 1 o'clock games, we do still plan to go live at 7 p.m. So those typical 1 p.m. afternoon games, we will go live at 7 p.m.
And that'll be the perfect way to do that because it'll end at about 4:30.
Yeah.
You guys have a little bit of time to recap everything, be able to get post-game sound and everything like that.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, an awesome time to do that. Jay, you and I might have to talk about the home opener, though, because with a concert that was rained out, there is a makeup date for that. So just need to work out some details with that. With you, we will do that this week. We won't do that here live on the air. I don't think anybody needs to hear our pre-show planning. Although we did talk about a camera in the room as like an extra
is that right?
subscription thing. Remember we were talking about the website and having like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like those pre-show meetings we used to do all the time. Nobody needs to.
Well, you guys
No.
need to have the call-in line.
Yes.
Like that will need to be
Well,
done. Peter,
this-
what
this
do you
is-
think?
This is the
That's where I got my bones as being a caller, man.
There you go.
Yeah, there
You're
it
not
is.
lying, Jay.
this is the step to it because what we did is we moved the Zoom over to its own dedicated PC,
Nice.
which can also double as what I say dedicated, but it's
Sure.
not the one we run the show on. But we can actually use that for the call-in as well. So
Nice. No, that'll
Yeah.
be awesome.
I think, I think we should try and do that. I don't know, maybe next week.
Ooh,
Maybe.
give it a
Ooh.
shot.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll demo that and do a little beta testing live after the
We'll see how it goes.
Opener.
And
Yeah.
if we get the call line going, just so everybody know that no, we're not regulated by anything like maybe some radio stations are, but we do operate that way. So if
Do
you
your best with it.
do your
You're gonna
best.
have a lot
I
of
know.
drunk callers calling.
I
in,
know.
You know that.
I just putting the disclaimer out there the best we can. All we can do is try, but it won't.
Yeah.
We'll still get all those drunk people. But Jay, we were talking about our expectations for the Browns. What are your expectations for this team? Like, what level do they need to get to for you as a fan and now as a co-host of a very popular podcast?
For the regular season, I think they're going to get around 13, 14 wins. And when it comes, they're obviously going to make the playoffs with that record. And it's got to be AFC Championship game. I personally think they're going to the Super Bowl this year. I think the stars are just aligning perfectly for this team. And I cannot wait for this ride. It's going to be so much fun.
So, do you expect the Browns to be the AFC representative going into the big game?
I do. I actually do.
Paulus, do
So-
you?
You know,
Who would you pick for the
I
AFC?
fight with this all the time because the more I think about it, the more I love our chances. I do. I don't.
I know it's hard.
I don't give a damn what happens week one. We're gonna see Casey in that AFC
Yep.
Championship game. And Jay, I'm kind of with you. Like I kind of see this team being able to roll off quite a few wins. And a lot of them you're going to see them at home because we got a garbage schedule at home. So if you can rattle off some major wins out, the away games, that Green Bay one, I think is going to be the pinnacle of everything because I think that's who you're going to face in the Super Bowl. I think
I
Green
was
Bay.
just reading.
Yeah.
I was just
Go-
reading. I guess we have the easiest schedule for running backs this year. And who's our running backs? Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we're gonna be all right this year. We're gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good guys to
Yeah.
have, as the easiest running back schedule ahead of you.
with a stellar offensive line too. So
I'm telling you right now, if they go to the Super Bowl and they face the Green Bay Packers, one of you guys is going to have to house Kelly because Kelly is the diehard Green Bay Packer. My wife, someone's going to have to take her over for like 2 weeks because I win or lose.
I won't
won't-
even eat cheese for 2 weeks.
Right.
with that.
Let's not go there, Jay. Like cheese curds are
I can-
great. Like
I can make
no
sure I
matter-
don't do that.
well, yeah, that's true.
Cheese curds can be great. We're playing the Packers. I don't want nothing to do with them.
No, that is wow. No, that
It's all pierogies that week.
all pierogies. No, I like that.
I guess before I can really pick the Browns, I mean, I don't make predictions on the show anyway. So Jay, bring it strong with the predictions because Predictor Paulus over there has been pretty good.
Jay has some
Yeah.
great predictions out there. So no, don't worry. Jay's going to be bringing it. That ain't no thing.
I feel that
I'm gonna try my best to take my homerism out of this.
I know
That's a tough thing that you'll have to
it's
learn.
hard to-
the reason I can't make predictions is because I can't take that much of the homerism out of me. So like that bad juju that I feel, and no pun intended on idiots that do TikTok dances that play for another team. But I don't like to put that karma or what I feel is bad superstition or karma on my teams.
See, I don't believe in that whatsoever. I mean,
You'll
Nick
fit
heard me on the
right
radio
in,
the other
Jay.
day.
Yeah, you'll fit right in.
right in
then
here.
you're taking the perfect role for this show because I need someone to have that distinction against. So
Absolutely.
you're going to make a
Someone's
lot of
like, "Oh,
predictions.
You're gonna jinx the team." I'm like, a jinx can't stop Myles Garrett. I'm sorry.
That's true.
That's true.
Jinx don't
That's true.
play left tackle at a Pro Bowl level.
Yeah, whatever you say on here, Jay, I guarantee you Miles won't go, "Oh, butterfly effect." Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure that's not going to happen.
Watch, we'll start making those like highlight films. Like Jarvis Landry had the
yeah.
Premium.com sports for CLE. Like he had some of those. He had
yeah.
other people like you never thought you'd see before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start making those, but that's okay. Like I'm getting better making predictions. I don't know right now that I can make the prediction. The Browns are the representative, and that's not anything against
That's fair.
my fandom for the Browns. I'm so done talking about what could be. Like I want to actually see how this team can perform and give me a couple weeks. Like let's actually get some real game film under the brightest lights, no matter what time of day it is. The NFL, when you are playing an NFL game, you are under the brightest lights, one of the biggest microscopes as a professional athlete playing in the National Football League. So give me a few weeks. But if I were to make a prediction, it would either be the Browns or KC against Green Bay. Like Green Bay is the team that I'm kind of seeing from the national, football conference to the NFC to come out and be in that big game.
Jay, how about you?
I want to see it be Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay versus the Browns would be awesome. The GOAT versus the up-and-comer Baker. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, he is the one that handed off
The
handed him the
rings.
rings during that NFL 100-year celebration or commercial.
Yeah, it was a
so,
commercial. Yeah, no, it was a great commercial.
So,
I
Baker.
can't believe they brought everybody back, too.
I know.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Baker got the taste in the commercial, and then he just takes them. He takes it all from him, takes the mantle from him in the actual game. Like that would be, pretty special to
No doubt.
have a moment like that. And then of course we'd be partying for those next 200 plus days. We wouldn't have a long off season talking about things like that. We would just be, shining in the moonlight,
Basking in the glory the entire time.
the entire time. You guys thought we basked in the glory of an NBA championship. This city will bask in the glory of a NFL championship, a Super Bowl trophy
Oh, yeah.
forever.
All fans
honestly.
will just be glowing orange. We'll just be in a aura of orange around us after we
Well,
win a Super Bowl.
well,
Pretty much. Yeah,
yeah.
no doubt.
Might want to check the water and the like the beer tap systems in that case, but I definitely agree that we'd be glowing. Is there any other hot take league wide that you guys have, or something that you're looking for? Because we're all three big fantasy football players too, so
Yeah.
we will keep our eye on the entire league. Is there one thing around the league, Paulus, that you're having your eye on
Well,
outside of the Browns?
I kind of want to hear what Jay says first.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
Jay, why don't you give us the hottest take that you got, fantasy or regular season, for any team?
Yeah.
You didn't even be the Browns. team.
Kamara's going to fall off, and the Saints are going to fall off.
Kamara,
big time, I think.
really?
Okay.
Okay.
I think he's going to suffer from Jameis Winston. I mean,
yeah.
I could be completely wrong.
No,
He's
no,
talented as
I
can be, but I think without having Drew Brees there, you're going to see a huge drop off in that team, and they lost some key players on defense.
So you don't think he's going to be
yeah, eating
biting
any
the
W's.
eating the W's anytime soon?
I mean, I don't want to say Kamara's going to completely fall off. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
He'll be a good back, but he's not going to be that number one back that everyone had him at earlier.
And I think that's like the biggest fear for a lot of people
Yeah.
picking him in fantasy is like, how talented he is. So he's not going to fall off, like Jay just said, in terms of his talent. He just may be his end of the year stats just may be a detriment to who's at the quarterback position, or may not. The biggest question mark will be, how do you replace Drew Brees? Can Jameis Winston do enough for that Saints organization
Sure.
to keep them in contention for something there in the NFC? I think that's a very valid point. How about you, Paulus?
So for mine, I don't know if we're going to see it this year. This is more of a long-term one that I'm looking at. I think Trey Lance is going to be the best quarterback that comes out of this past draft. And I think that you're going to see a Mahomes Reed sort of thing between him and Kyle Shanahan. They're going to run the NFC for a long time. I truly believe that. You got to let him sit, though. Like, he has to sit. He needs to learn the game. Dude's only played in one game over the last 2 years, aside from the preseason games.
Yep.
That guy has so much talent, and Kyle Shanahan is the perfect guy to mold that guy. He needs to sit, though. Jimmy Garoppolo has to stay healthy. If they stay healthy, he's going to get into the playoffs and everything like
He's going
that.
to get Alex Smith in the playoffs.
Exactly. And I'm all for
We're going to
that.
get pulled right in the playoffs. And we're going to go with Trey Lance. I would not be shocked.
And I wouldn't be shocked either. And I honestly think that San Francisco team got hit with so many injuries last year. I mean, right off the bat, they lost Nick Bosa. You can't come back from that. Immediately. And then Jimmy Garoppolo goes out, and then they're just messing with Nick Mullins, who's now on our practice squad. You got a lot of
got hurt.
Yeah, everyone got hurt. Yeah. So I think that if Trey Lance, gets to sit and pulls the Mahomes like he sat the entire year until that week 16 or 17, and played in game 16 there for him. I think if you do that with Trey Lance this year, you could see that boom next year. So that's my long-term one, though.
I guess one thing that I'm really looking for around the league, it stays in the AFC North. Who really are the Steelers? I know a lot of Browns fans like to say that they're going to fall off because of, the And Jay even has said it, noodle arm quarterback that they have, former Pro Bowler and 2-time Super Bowl champion, Ben
Right.
Roethlisberger.
I was robbed. Won't get into that.
Yeah, we're not going there. I'm not getting into that right now. But I know that it's going to be an absolute dogfight to try to win the AFC North.
Sure.
And that involves, as much as we hate them, looking from a non-biased and respectful circumstance. I respect what the Steelers organization has been able to build over the last however many years, 50 plus years of, not many coaches while we're going through in the same stretch.
Yeah, 3 coaches in 50 years.
Yeah. So who are they really going to be? I think will go a long way in how the AFC North gets determined and, where this Browns season can really
Is
go.
this Ben's last year?
Oh,
It's his last year to prove that he can go like a Tom Brady can go. Because I know that he keeps looking at that, and that's why he keeps continuing to decide to come back, is because he feels like, man, you know what, I really should go, but I feel like I could turn it around and be just like that.
This is the thing. I think that Ben,
I think he's naive to a certain extent.
Well, I mean, I think everyone is.
Yeah.
At a certain point. I mean, if you have that many Super Bowls and you have that many yards and touchdowns, and
it's the hardest thing to do.
It's the hardest thing to do is to hang it up. And you can say that for anyone, but I look at it from the standpoint, like, I don't think he wants to leave the Steelers. Like, I think he understands that his legacy determines, like, he doesn't want to end up like how Phillip Rivers was.
Mhm.
Phillip Rivers actually had a decent year last year.
He'll end up on a team. Watch. He'll end up on a team this year.
You think Phillip Rivers is going to end up on a team?
He's already said he'll come out and possibly play for a playoff team if they need it. If there's an injury.
I get it, but, like, I don't know. Like, at some point in time, like, you got to practice, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know he's coaching a high school football team. And by the way, I don't know what they did this past week, but his first week coaching, 49-0.
High school football team?
Yeah, he's coaching.
Like all his kids, pretty much?
pretty much.
At some point, they'll all be up there.
I guarantee you they all will be. Yeah, no doubt. But no, with
offense and defense in that thing.
No doubt. But with Ben, like, I don't think you're going to see Ben play for another team. Like, Ben's not going to pull a Tom Brady and try and go to the NFC to do that. So I think that he's going to retire as a Steeler, and I do believe that it probably is going to be his last year, no matter what happens.
Unfortunately for him, and fortunate for us, his line's going to get him messed up.
He's going to get killed behind that line. Yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to see that.
He's going to get murdered.
Yeah. I'd hate
to want to deal with Clowney and Myles Garrett behind that line, because I sure in the hell.
Well, Clowney's going to be a guy that's going to step up. There's a lot of on paper with him too. There's a lot of what if or what could be with him, but if he doesn't step up, then that's all for naught. And then Myles Garrett's still going through the same triple teams and chips and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's had to go through to put up the numbers he's always had to. I think for Phillip Rivers and those high school, I think it'd be a detriment to those high school kids if he, came out of, I know, like, if you got the opportunity to go back and play for the NFL and be one of the 32 starting quarterbacks, you're going to go.
Josh McCown did it.
Just from like a student athlete, like high school coaching and just a coaching perspective in general, coaching those younger ages and stuff. Like, I know it would suck for those kids that kind of have a guy like, is he in, is he really out type thing. Because those are your mentors.
Until the end of the year, and high school would probably be over by then anyway.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how far they go, if they're drubbing teams like they did week one, we'll see. But Jay, we do appreciate you joining this evening for a short little bit of time. We wanted to make this announcement.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, Jay.
You earned it.
You earned it. You've been a great fill-in at times, but this is you've earned this. This isn't some sort of like any sort of handout or giveaway, no contest one. You've earned it. We respect the heck out of you. You're going to bring great stuff to the show. And, it's going to be a fun ride during the Browns season alongside you, brother. So thank you so much. And we'll see you next week for week one of the new edition of the Voice of the Land. Big Plays Browns post-game home here on the Voice of the Land.
Be ready. I'm going to be bringing that energy from that stadium every show now.
Hell yeah. There you go, brother.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll we'll raise the energy level in here, and Peter will be ready to change the levels when he needs to as well. Jay, have a great rest of the evening, great rest of your weekend, your long weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
See you next week.
See you next
See
week.
you, brother.
Absolutely. And that was Always Positive Jay, going to be filling in, as we said, as the co-host of the Voice of the Land
Oh yeah.
Big Plays Browns post-game show for the next several months while Paulus has his job responsibilities at ESPN Cleveland. We will miss you, brother. But we got one more segment left before we take that 3 to 4 month hiatus. So we'll have some fun to finish it out. All right. That is going to take us to our last break of the evening. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land, your official Browns post-game home here for the Big Play Network. We just made our big announcement that Always Positive Jay will be joining the show as a semi-permanent figure. That I don't even know what to turn at that point. We've been talking for a little while, so the words are starting to fade, but that's okay because words are hard, but oh so fun, as we like to say on the Voice of the Land. Well, we got one final segment this evening before our actual NFL Browns post-game shows begin next week, starting after the game ends. I think I did forget to mention that 1 o'clock games, again, we will start at 7 p.m. If it is a 4 o'clock game, we will wait until the game ends and go live right after. So it'll be close to the 7 p.m. time. If it is an 8 p.m. game on a Sunday, we'll just do the show right before, kind of give a preview, a pregame show for the Big Play Network in that regard. And then Monday night, you'll preview the game.
Yeah, I think there's only one.
And it's later in the season, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's against the Steelers.
It is against the Steelers. It is week 17, I believe, or week 16. It's
one
of the final weeks of the year. So everything should be wrapped up at that moment in time, hopefully.
So we will, and we'll give you more details on that as we go, and we will figure it all out with Jay being a season ticket holder too. When can he get to the studio and everything?
Sure.
I want to make sure that we can see Thomas Rhett. Like, it was such a great show when we went at Blossom.
That did suck. I was in Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Tasting up on moonshine. Oh,
boy.
Did moonshine hit me in the weirdest ways.
Oh.
It was good times, though. Good times. But no, I saw that it had rained out. It got like halfway through a set or something. And then
so it's the Center Point Road Tour is what they're calling it. And it's got Gabby Barrett starting things off with a few of her numbers. She's kind of an up-and-coming star in country music. And then Cole Swindell, who's been around a few years.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. And he had a really great set. Like, as the night went on, like, the entire crowd was into almost every single song that all of them were doing. And then Thomas Rhett comes out and everybody's singing every single word of every song. And he gets maybe halfway or almost to that halfway point of his set, and we could already see lightning behind us.
Okay.
But then the skies just opened up, and I'm like you get rained on.
Oh yeah.
This was huge droplets just coming down from the sky, and we were so we didn't have any of our ponchos or anything. We thought, we saw all the weather reports 11 o'clock, so we're thinking, okay, maybe we're walking to the car and we get drenched, but we'll take that. No, we're standing so far away from our car because it's got to be parked out in those fields at Blossom.
And I hate Blossom. I hate Blossom so much. Now, I heard that do they got stands in seats in the hill now?
No, they just have them in the pavilion, right?
Yeah,
it's just
in the pavilion. You can rent chairs for $10.
That's okay. So that's what it probably was then.
They're actually nice chairs too.
Oh yeah, probably.
We got them, and they were nice chairs. They got cup holders on both sides.
That's good.
We got lemonade, and
perfect for me.
We got water.
Double fist.
We got water in a beer can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're kind of I guess double fisting like a lemonade and a water. Like, it looked like we were drinking beer all night.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking
you fit right in with the country crowd.
When I saw people coming back from the concessions before the concert really got going, and I'm like, what kind of beer is that? Like, I've been out of the game for this long. Like, I wasn't in it long anyways.
Right.
But I've been out. What brand is that? Like, is it their own?
Yeah.
I'm going to go check this out.
It was water.
Well, I order the water before I get a chance to kind of go around, and I'm like, oh, it's water.
That's weird.
It had a weird kind of taste to it too, even though like water doesn't have a taste, but coming out of a can, it did.
Yeah.
It was weird, but yeah,
That's
I mean,
probably better for the environment, honestly.
yeah, I mean, we made sure we put in the we tried our best
The
to put in
recycle?
like everybody was, it was just like this
Just gonna
mass
say.
exit.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
yeah. So Thomas Rhett, he gets halfway through his set and he's finishing up a song, and then we're like waiting for the next one to start because it was usually like
Sure.
pretty quick. And then like the lights come on and he's got his whole band lined up with him, and he's like, yeah, we were just told that there's storms right above us. It's starting to come down. We have to postpone the show.
Yeah.
I hate it. It sucks. We'll be back. I'll make sure I get a full set for you guys. Somehow, some way, I'm going to talk to my team. And not even like 15, 20 minutes after the show, he's back in his dressing room filming a video.
Went online. Yeah.
Went on social media, and he's saying that I've been on the phone this whole time with my team. We're coming back September 19th. We'll get more details for you soon.
Right.
But if you had a ticket to this one, it'll be good, but they'll also sell more tickets. So like it was such a good show, and I'm just getting into country music, and like I haven't been to many concerts, but this was such a fun
Sure.
environment, and like everybody being so into it.
Thomas Rhett's an awesome. He's an awesome one to go to, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the last concert that I went to. It was with Kelly. We went to Brad Paisley.
Okay.
I think 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember who opened for him. I kind of almost want to say it was Cole Swindell. That opened for him.
They've known they were talking about like their relationship
Yeah.
and that, and Thomas Rhett like just appeared on stage for like a brief second during one of
Yeah.
his sets, and he got like shocked, like he stopped singing because he was like,
right.
Thomas,
Oh,
hey, what are you doing, TR?
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's awesome. Peter, when was the last concert that you ever went to?
The last Well, I think the last concert might have been a Guster concert, which is they're a band out of I think Boston,
Okay.
New England, and the whole family. We all like them.
Sure,
They're
yeah.
kind of alt rock, folk rock,
Okay.
type thing.
Nice.
You've
Yeah.
probably heard their music. They've been in a lot of like commercials and in like TV shows. They get picked up.
Nice.
They put on great concerts. We take the kids with us.
Sure.
We were supposed to go see them in Cincinnati. What was that? April of 2020.
Oh, so got canceled.
Yeah,
Pandemic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Gotta love that.
So I think it was either the Guster concert right before that. Was that November? I think that was November, right? I'm asking Jacob because he remembers.
Yeah.
I'm old. My mind's shot. Because before that it was the Foo Fighters at Boston.
Oh,
And I'll tell you
Foo
what,
Fighters
if
is my jam. I love Foo
we got
Fighters.
pavilion seats. We got tickets in the pavilion. And we paid a little bit extra for the VIP parking. Totally worth
Game
it.
changer.
Oh yeah. But the best my best experiences going to like Blossom is back when I was in my 20s. I'd go with my friends. We'd go see like Jimmy Buffett. We would rent a limo or a party bus.
Really?
So everyone would chip in like
You went hardcore.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I like
you just
it.
chip in like $50.
Yeah.
But you have like 12 people in a party bus.
Yep.
And you fill up the coolers and the girls that hung out with
Smart
us
idea.
Would,
Yeah.
they would make Jello shots and
Woo!
the party
Peter
bus
got lit that
Oh,
night.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah. So the party bus would pick everybody up, and then for something like Jimmy Buffett,
Yeah.
first stop was Party City for about $20 worth of crappy plastic.
Oh, yeah,
beads
no
to
doubt.
Get into the concert.
Oh yeah.
And blow up whatever because it's Buffett. So
No doubt, yeah.
Buffett's a good time.
Buffett. Yeah. I've never been to a Jimmy Buffett concert. I need to go. Like eventually I will go because that is one of the ones that I want.
Get someone else to drive.
No, no doubt. Like there ain't no way I'm coming back from that sober. So yeah, no, someone else is driving. The time before that though, I went to a Garth Brooks concert, and Garth is like the dude of all dudes.
Yeah, one of the better Westlife guys.
That's one I
too,
would
yeah.
love. I would love.
Garth
to see him
was
live.
awesome, and I got dirt cheap tickets because the girl that I worked with at whenever I was working for Cornerstone, I don't think they're in business anymore,
No.
but it was a CPAP BiPAP company.
Yeah.
And, so like she couldn't go. Her boyfriend, I think she ended up marrying him, whatever, but like she couldn't go, and she was like, like he's out of town or something. Like, hey, do you just want these tickets? I was like, yeah, sure. How much? And she was like, I paid like X amount of dollars for them. Like, if you give me $20 right now, I'll take them. Okay. Like I had 20 in my wallet.
Yeah,
I
$20.
literally gave her $20. She handed me 2 tickets and I took Tyler. So like it's just one of the, and like we went and they were crappy seats up in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Loudville, yeah.
Basically Loudville, like the top row of all top rows. But the concert itself was so damn good. Every song he sung, you knew every word to it. So
Yeah.
it was like the perfect. He was on stage for like at least 3 hours. It was great.
You know, a funny story with that is when it was the Gund still.
Yeah.
I went and a buddy of mine is huge Guns N' Roses fan.
Okay. Yeah.
Huge Guns N' Roses fan. And he-
GNR baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so he calls me up. He's like, I want to go see him and no one wants to go with me, blah, blah, blah. And so I dropped like $50 on the ticket, which wasn't terrible. End up meeting him there and his brother-in-law's with him. So there's 3 of us. I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever. But it was like front row, but it was like front row in the seat, like right after the floor. So you
Yeah.
had the floor in front of us.
Oh yeah.
But we were like front row. And this was like when what's his name? Buckethead was the guitarist. This was like right after Ohio State won the championship in 2002.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, this was a while ago. And the concert was fantastic. They didn't take the stage until like 10 o'clock
Sure.
at least, but they played for over 2 hours. And then that was like 2 days later, Axl Rose threw a fit, canceled the rest of the tour. You know,
Whoa.
so
So
it was
you
great.
like saw the last
Yeah,
concert.
one of the last concerts.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
But it was, I'll tell you what, I was kind of pissed at my buddy because he's like, no one wants to go with me. And then he shows up with his brother-in-law. I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right."
Okay.
But it was a great concert.
No, that's
it really
awesome.
Yeah.
was, so
I mean, I've really only ever been able to see kind of the classic rock guys. Like,
Sure.
I was at Rush's concert
Okay.
where they back in
Slap of the
2010
bass.
Yeah, slap of the bass. Yeah, yeah. Where they actually filmed their like Time Machine tour DVD there.
Okay.
oh,
So,
wow, that's cool.
and of course, unfortunately, now one of my favorite drummers of all time has now passed away, and Neil Peart.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was cool because that's what I was brought up on. But I've never really been able to see kind of like current artists type
Mhm.
thing. So
Yeah.
and like you said, with the one concert with Guster, or like what you guys were going to, got canceled. Thomas Rhett got canceled. I bought these tickets in February of 2020. They were like supposed to be a birthday present / Valentine's Day present. So
Yeah.
the concert was going to happen in June around her birthday, around Janet's
Oh,
birthday.
Sure.
I bought them around Valentine's Day to, it's kind of a
Valentine's
gift.
2020.
Because I actually used the words like hate and country music in a sentence when we first
Didn't go
at
over
our first
well, huh?
date. Well, somehow I went past
Still
one
got
date,
another
so-
date, right? Yeah.
But it probably shouldn't have gone past that.
Sure.
That was something disrespectful to say to someone that's grown up on this music and loves
Sure,
the
yeah.
90s and even like the early 50s and 60s country music.
Yeah.
But this was like a kind of a gift intended then to say, look, like I'm interested in what you're interested in,
Yeah.
those type of relationship things. And now like I'm really into it. So I was like, okay, like I know these songs, I know these artists. And I kept saying every time they emailed, like, it's been rescheduled this date. Do you want your money back? Do you want to go?
Yeah.
I want to go. Do you want your money back? Do you want to go?
I want
wanna
to go.
And so now it's like I feel like we gotta go and see the full
No doubt.
Thomas Rhett
I
set.
think you're making the right call for it.
Because then we go there on the 19th and we're supposed to go back to Blossom on the 22nd for Jonas Brothers.
Oh, okay.
So like kind of like 2 different shows,
Sure.
and like different atmospheres there.
Yeah.
I love the atmosphere of the Thomas Rhett concert. Like I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I have to talk to Jay and see if we can do that.
And see, for me, like I was never the biggest country fan up until I like high school. Hell no. Like
Yeah, no.
I was nope,
It
nope,
was-
I'm good.
It was the raunchiest, like hardcore rap. That
So
you
see, and that's like I think everyone goes through a
Yeah.
phase like that. And
Yeah.
it's just like you want to fit in with the crowd of people that you're, hanging
Yeah.
out with, and everyone's listening to rap. And at that point in time, it was like DMX was
Yeah.
like big back then,
Yep.
and like so like I'm listening to DMX and Eminem and all these different guys, and Ludacris was huge, and so like I'm listening to all of them, and then like towards probably like I went to Akron for a year, and I was hanging out with one of my buddies, Adam. Shout out Adam Grimmin if you're listening. But so I'm listening with him, and he was the biggest country. He's like, oh dude, this is great. Like just sit back and listen to it. Listen to the words is what he said. Just listen to the words. I'm like, no, I'm gonna hate it. And then like
Yeah.
Everyone makes fun of country songs because they're like, oh, it's all, my dog died, my truck ran out of
I was
gas.
like, what do you get if
Yeah.
you play a country music song backwards? You
Right.
get your house, your wife, your dog, your truck back.
Exactly. But like the songs that I was listening to, like, was like Kenny Chesney
Mhm.
and God, what was the other one? A lot of Kenny Chesney, Blake Shelton,
Keith Urban and all those?
Keith Urban a little bit.
Okay.
Not the biggest fan
It's
of
like that was
Keith.
like one of those guys that like around,
But it was-
around
yeah,
those names.
Exactly. Yeah. It was the early, mid 2000,
Mhm.
2000, 8, 9, 10. But that's whenever I started getting really big into it. So like now the only thing, if I listen to music, and honestly, it's a little bit
Mhm.
more rare now because it's all sports talk or
Right.
something. But if I do listen to music, it is 94.9 country music stations around here. So that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
99.5 is in
Yeah,
it's
that's-
on the rotation. I mean, I listen to really like everything now that I've added country music in, but what you said, like listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like I really started to listen to the lyrics
Yep.
and there's a lot more connecting
exactly.
to that I never realized, but I guess, I was brought up to say like my family was never really into it. They never really mentioned
Sure.
country music either.
Yeah.
And I should have been, because I was like, and pride myself on being cultured. Like I should have given it a chance sooner.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, Janet in my life, kind of helped me get to that point. Cause like outside of sports, music is another thing and it's one of those things other people in their life, they connect with and they see it as much more than just entertainment. And music is one of those other things that I
doubt.
connect with. So it was cool to go to that show, and I'm hoping we're getting to go back. And Cole Swindell, like I didn't even hear it. He slipped in the OH. Nobody
did
said
he?
IO because nobody he just slid it in there real quick, and she caught on to it. She's like, "Oh wait, we were supposed to say IO." I was like, "What?" Yeah, he said OH. I was like, "Crap, I missed saying IO." We were supposed to be saying that we were supposed to be talking Ohio State right now. Is
True.
anybody surprised or nervous by Ohio State's performance before we get out of here?
I was going to say real quick, I'm not surprised at all. The offense, it's going to click. It took a little bit of a
Mhm.
half, in order for, for CJ Stroud to catch
Yeah.
wind of it. He's going to be fine. Yeah. Everyone calm down. Don't worry about anything. Offensive line, everything's looking good. Those running backs, oh my God, Travion Henderson. I'm telling you right now, I made the bold prediction yesterday on the Buckeye Game Day show on ESPN Cleveland. I'm telling you right now, Travion Henderson is going to be a Heisman candidate next year. Like Chris Olave has a really good chance this year. CJ Stroud, he's the quarterback of the Buckeyes. He's going to get some votes probably. But I'm telling you right now, Travion Henderson, he will be in New York or wherever they're going to have it next year. I guarantee you he's going to be there. I don't know if he can win it,
right.
but as a certified sophomore, as long as he stays healthy, that kid is a speed demon. I love that. And the defense, it's going to take a little bit of time to, get jacked up there for him.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of solid players, on that defensive line that are just super young right now.
The same question mark as the Browns, the
Yeah.
Buckeye defense, but they've been losing so many guys in the first round of the NFL, and it's not an excuse, but you're putting new guys almost every single time.
Rotating them.
They got a lot of younger guys now, so I think if they can find some sort of rhythm as the season goes on, try to get closer to being what a silver bullet defense is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think a team that's probably going to be pushing for an undefeated season, that just makes them stronger going into the games against the better teams around the country. Peter, one of the things that you like to talk, Ohio State, any concerns, any surprise?
I was a little nervous, first half. They really
Were you thinking about benching Stroud?
I was going to say,
no,
Some
but
people,
I was,
Mike Rizzo.
I know.
I've been
know.
calling you out like
Yeah.
24/7. I love it, but he
I
was a little freaked out.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
I
answer
was
that,
a
buddy.
little-
I'll call you out on that one.
I was a little nervous about, he had a couple overthrows.
Sure.
Yeah.
He didn't look sharp enough. You sit there and go, is it just it's his first big college game?
Sure.
But he's played, pretty high
He's played
level high
yeah,
school,
great
and
games,
it's
yeah.
so it's not like he doesn't know what pressure is. It's a different level of pressure, to
Yes.
be sure. But then as a father, I'm also sitting there thinking he's only, 4 years older than Jacob.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Yeah.
crazy to
Getting
think
to
about
that
this
point
stuff.
now.
kind of crazy. And I was a little nervous, but he settled down, and I think they started to really gel. And I think Minnesota's not a bad team.
No.
Middle of the road.
Yeah.
But I mean they usually field a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
They're not Western Michigan.
Well,
So-
true. I mean, but
I know.
Michigan did what they had to do yesterday.
They did.
Now they lost their wide receiver, impact playmaker.
Yes.
I don't know what I don't know
you
the
wanna see
update
that
on
kind
him,
of
but
stuff. Yeah.
and you never do, and that does suck for them. But once again, like you can't lose those guys and expect to compete with us.
Right.
Yeah.
But you also retweeted the fan that he brought his dad's
Yeah.
ashes to the big house in Ann Arbor because he wanted to.
It's
like,
bigger
It
than
was his dying wish to be have some of his ashes spread there to always be able
Yeah.
to continue going to games with his son. Like that's. It doesn't matter what kind of rivalry or like,
Agreed.
in sports like that. Those are those life altering like moments that you read and really kind of brings perspective to the whole.
we
whole
always
life thing.
we always want to bump up the rivalries and like like oh screw you,
I won't use the word, like,
right,
but
and that's all fine and fun,
Right.
but whenever it gets down to the real business of life matters, like I mean, the guy had cancer, he passed away, his last dying wish was for his son to take him to a Michigan game.
Yeah.
God bless him and his family, like and that's just it's a cool thing to see. Like obviously it sucks that his father passed away of
Yes.
cancer, by no means, but it's a cool moment for the son to have with his with his father. And
it's a heartwarming, heartfelt,
doubt.
heartfelt moment
Yes.
when you see stuff like that. And yes, sports are our life, and not just because we're trying to make it a career, but like
Sure.
it's just been our life for a while. But moments like that help us stay grounded to the point that, and we always tell people, we know that there are more things in life that are even more important than sports. It's just we rank sports a lot higher than
Right.
most people, and that's why we always say sports are our life, and that's what we've always tried to bring, and that perspective, the reality we've always tried to bring with this show, and what we will bring moving forward. But I want to just take a second. Last couple moments on the show, Paulus. I just want to thank you, brother, for
thank you.
everything, and good luck during the Brown season. We will see you back here. This isn't the end. This isn't like
No, by no
shedding a
means.
tear moment
Right.
or anything.
No.
But I think it's just a perfect time to kind of rehash how we always thank each other. We're always thankful for what everybody does to help build the show. Everybody that tunes in, so thank you for everything you've added to the show, and we're gonna keep growing it.
Yeah, no
and when
doubt.
you get back, we're gonna take it even.
It's
even
in the
higher.
best hands possible. Between you, Peter, and Jay, like you guys are going to crush it no matter what. And whether the Browns go, I don't even want to say a bad record, but like even if they go 17-0, you know, like every week's going to be something special, and just have fun with it. That's why I told Jay the other day. He gave me a call and he was like, he's a little nervous, but like that's understandable. Like he's finally getting the opportunity to do something like this.
Yes.
And like I can't wait to see what you guys do with it, because you guys are going to have nothing but a hell of a time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to tune in and listen.
And I told him, we'll put some segments together, but we'll also let things happen naturally and organically, and it's just going to make for a great show, and we'll be ready and raring to go next week. Once we will go live next week after the game ends. So as soon as the game is over, we will probably be here in studio finishing watching it. Peter, myself, always positive Jay will be ready to jump on. So make sure you tune in to Big Plays, official post-game show. I guess I should have run that by Dave before I said that, but I think he's okay with it.
So we'll just call it official right now.
We'll just call it the official post-game show. And make sure from the home opener, September 19th, you guys get out to the Jack Casino in downtown Cleveland for Big Plays live tailgate show. A bunch of people are going to be jumping on the mic, having some fun, sponsored by Labatt. We will promote that moving forward, but make sure you guys get there 10 a.m. till kickoff. They'll be having a lot of fun down there as well. But that wraps it up for this mega edition of the Voice of Land. Having a mega edition on Paulus's last show before the turn of the year in 2022 when he returns. For my brother, Nick Paulus, our producer extraordinaire, Peter Telep, the whole crew at CBC TV and LPV Productions, Jacob Telep, of course, as well, who's been helping out with some information on the show today. I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you sports fans, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. And we love you all. 3,000. We will see you all next week. Go Browns. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Hoo, hoo.